Good morning, LinkedIn family. It is time for another Meet and Greet Monday, and not a better way to start a Meet and Greet Monday off than with brand new connection. Kyle Dillenburg here is a recruiter, actually. So those of you that are job seekers, you might want to pay attention to this man. If you're not connected to him, if you're not following him, if you're not engaging with him, highly recommended. This is a well-connected individual, and he is definitely that one connection that can possibly change your life. So Kyle, thank you so much for joining me on Coffee with Bob. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Bob, thanks for having me this morning. I'm very appreciative to be a part of this and just watching your network grow and the impact it's had on everybody that's been on this. Just such a great way to get people engaged, to introduce to one another, aware of one another. And it's all in the focus of just helping and putting a message out there. So
yeah, it is. Thank you. I appreciate that. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about what you got going on?
Yeah, thanks. Well, so I'm a business development manager over at Midicus Consulting. I've been here now for about 5 years in primarily an outside sales capacity, but we're a IT staffing and services company that services North America. And I was real excited to talk with you today because it gives me an opportunity to tell candidates out there, people who are looking right now in this difficult market, right, in unique market conditions, why we're here to help them and how we can be different, and certainly how we provide value not only to them but to our clients as well, and kind of bring everybody together.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you get a chance, make sure you check out his, and I'll put his firm's URL down in the comments so that you can reach out and take a look at what you got going on. You guys have a pretty impressive mix of clients and backgrounds.
Yeah, I appreciate you looking into that. And certainly, for us right now, right, what we're trying to do, realistically, there's thousands of us, right? There's so many staffing companies, especially in Chicago. We all have access to the same technologies. We all have good clients. We all have, array of jobs. So what makes us different? For us, it is about the ability to truly provide value throughout the entire process to a candidate. And what does that mean? Beyond just placing them at a job, which we obviously hope to do, but we want to impact their career in whatever way we can. And a lot of times that's just giving people, frankly, things that they're not getting from the traditional interview process or the traditional recruiting process. Because unfortunately, it's become very transactional and very rushed, with a lot of our competition. So we really pride ourselves on sitting down and taking the time to get to know the person. What's important to them? What are their career goals? Not just what they want in their next job. Where do they want to be 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now? What are their passions? When we sit down and we're able to do this, we'll go through detailed resume feedback, right? Here's some areas of opportunity. Here's how you might want to portray yourself or highlight this or add certain metrics into your resume. A common area, unfortunately, right now where candidates are not getting a ton of response back on is interview feedback. These applicant tracking systems and just a lot of the kind of the corporate interview process is a little fragmented, and they're not, they'll get the auto response rejection letter back,
right,
with really no details other than we're just moving on. When you're working and engaged with a staffing firm, and by no means are we the only ones that do this, but we really pride ourselves on sitting down with the client and gaining a full understanding of why, good or bad, this candidate was perceived the way they were. And what can we bring back to them? What helps them get better for next time? What could they have summarized better? Oh, maybe they didn't highlight their digital transformation experience very well, or whatever it was. And it's helpful to be able to give somebody real time from a client feedback in terms of, this is how you came off, this is how you were perceived.
Yeah.
And some people haven't had to interview for 5-10 years. They didn't foresee COVID-19 coming and having layoffs at their company. So it's a practice makes perfect kind of thing. And we take a lot of pride in preparing someone, carrying them all the way through the process and after the fact, whether we place them or not.
Yeah, and that's good stuff, because I've heard so many nightmare stories out there about candidates just getting totally ghosted. They walk out of the interview thinking everything went really well. You know what I mean? My own son included walked out of the interview thinking, I got this job. And 2-3 weeks later, he hasn't a single word from them at all. And, at what point, I told him at some point, you got to give up, you've been ghosted. And that seems to be happening more and more, especially lately.
It has. Well, and especially to your point, due to this last year in the pandemic and just the increase in volume of the candidates that are available
Mhm.
and really good candidates that are available, it's become even more problematic. And some of it's just the general inefficiencies of some of the corporate hiring stances and procedures, and they have those automated messages in place to give their teams more time to do other things than to give
Yeah.
every single person individual feedback. But it's a flawed system.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, it doesn't help the candidate get better or learn. And when you work with the staffing firm and particularly, ourselves here at Midicus, I mean, that's something you're going to get every time with us because it's really important. And we
Yeah.
want to be able to provide that to you. And at the end of the day, only one person gets every job. They might interview 10, 15 people, only one's getting it.
Right.
So we have to provide something to you, some kind of value, something you can take with you, to future opportunities.
Yeah. Well, and that's what you and I had a discussion prior to this, to the interview here. And what I really like and what I found when I did some research on your website and stuff, and even your LinkedIn profile, you guys really are working hard to put the human back into human resources, which I really applaud. There are other guys out there, Brett Brody, Gregory Austin, who are out there, Bridget Heisen, for that matter, are out there trying to help make that chain and push that change over so that it's more human as far as human resources is concerned, and hiring. I say human resources in a general term. But you are one of the first firms that I've seen that actually put into practice. So I congratulate you guys on that. That's awesome.
Thank you. It's frankly, has been very effective, right? I mean, I think people really feel taken care of when they work with us, and the goal is always, of course, to make the placement. But if it doesn't happen, we maintain those relationships. We know where their kids are going to school, and how many pets they have, and just we can text each other back and forth about if their team's in the Super Bowl. Those little things that over time make a big difference. And frankly, it's fun. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just the interpersonal interaction, everybody craves that to some degree.
Right. Yeah, especially now, right? With all the virtual.
Oh
meetings.
gosh. Yeah. I'm very guilty of that. I get cooped up in here and just want to talk and get out.
Yeah.
But and in terms of being able to present a candidate too, it just is an entirely different conversation with leadership at a client site when you really know the candidate, you understand them, you know what they're looking for. It can make an accurate assessment, an accurate pitch of whether or not they fit that company's culture or not,
Right.
and their goals and their initiatives, rather than just here's a resume.
Yeah.
It's a very different conversation.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So if you're in the hunt, or if you're looking to upgrade, whatever the case is, I highly recommend connecting, following, and engaging with Kyle here and his organization. His organization will be linked in the comments below. Reach out to him, connect with them, engage with them. And I'll tell you, just based on the conversations that I've had with Kyle, he's more than happy to give you any advice that you may be looking for, and it's all for you. I mean, he's the real deal here. So Kyle, thank you so much for being on Coffee with Bob. I truly appreciate it. And I appreciate what you're doing for those job seekers out there, because I know it's very difficult for them.
Appreciate it, Bob. Thanks a lot.
All right. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.